happy Easter week. I hope you've had a great week and a great holiday with your family. First of all, I just want to say that I really miss you still, and I don't have any new updates for you right now, but we'll continue to let you know how things are going as we find out. So first, I'm going to finish the story for you. We've been going over the resurrection eggs. There are 12 eggs, like a dozen eggs. So I have the final 3 eggs. I'm going to tell you what's in each one of those. Finish telling you the story. So last week we left off where Jesus was crucified, which is what we celebrated on Good Friday. And 3 days later, counting Friday, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the third day was the day of the resurrection. So the first egg, I dropped it. You could hear it though. There's a stone in the egg. So this represents the stone that covered Jesus' tomb. So after he died and was crucified, there were 2 men, 2 followers of Jesus, Joseph of Arimathea and Nicodemus. They asked if they could take Jesus' body and bury it in Joseph's tomb that he had bought for his family. So back then, a lot of wealthy people would have, instead of just being buried in the ground, they would buy like caves almost, tombs that they would be put in after they die. And a huge stone, way bigger than this one, would be rolled in front to seal up the tomb after they prepare the body. Okay, so there was a giant stone in front of the tomb, and there were guards guarding the tomb because they knew that Jesus had said things about himself raising from the dead, and they were worried that the disciples would come, steal Jesus' body, and then pretend he rose from the dead. So they had guards out in front. And all of a sudden, there was a huge earthquake, and an angel appeared and rolled the stone away from the tomb. Well, the guards saw this happen. It says they trembled with fear, and then it sounds like they fainted. It said they were like dead men. So an angel rolled the stone away. Later on, there were some women coming, and they were actually going to the tomb to anoint Jesus' body, like use special oils and perfumes. It's something that would be done after somebody died. And when they got there, the stone was already gone. They were thinking, how are we going to move the stone? It was already gone. So that was pretty crazy. And then they saw angels, and the angels said to them, do not be afraid, and told them to go tell the other disciples that Jesus wasn't there, that he rose from the dead just as he said, and that they should go tell the others. And so they did. And one of the women's name was Mary Magdalene, and she was one of Jesus' followers and friends. And she was really upset because she didn't understand what had happened to him. She thought someone had taken his body and moved it, and she was just really sad. It's one of her close friends. And she was alone at one point, and all of a sudden someone came and said her name, and it turns out that it was Jesus. She didn't recognize him at first till he said her name. It was Jesus himself. So she was the first person that Jesus appeared to after he rose from the dead, and he was alive. He looked just like normal, and he talked to her and encouraged her and told her to go tell the disciples. So these women went and told the disciples. When they told them, they didn't quite believe at first, but they had to see for themselves. So it says in the book of John that Peter and John ran to the tomb, and when they got there, they found inside the tomb, there was no stone, but there was something inside the tomb, and it was just cloths. So Jesus' body had been wrapped in cloths, linen cloths, and that's all that was left. They were not on him anymore because he was gone. He was alive, and the cloths were left behind. So eventually, Jesus appeared to the disciples and to lots and lots of other people while he was on earth before he went into heaven to live in heaven permanently or until he comes back. And the final egg, what do you think's in here? Any guesses? Can you hear it? I'm gonna show you. Nothing. So this one represents the empty tomb because Jesus is no longer in the tomb. He's not there because he's alive. He's still alive. And I'm going to read you a verse. So after Jesus appeared to the disciples, he said this to them. This is in John chapter 20, verse 29. Jesus told him, he's talking to one of the disciples, because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed. So that's like us. We haven't seen Jesus alive on earth, but we are blessed if we believe anyway. So we know that the tomb was empty. We know that Jesus is alive. That's why we celebrate Easter on Easter Sunday, his resurrection, and that he's alive in heaven and that He gives us life if we believe in Him. Okay? So, your final Kahoot challenge on those last 3 eggs and the story that goes with it will be going until Friday. As you heard last week, Julia won the first round. The second round winner was Izzy H, so she will receive a prize as well. And we'll see who wins the final round. All right, so this coming week, I'm gonna plan to have a Zoom meeting with you guys instead of doing a video, so that you guys can see me and see the assistant coaches, see each other, and just chat. It's not going to be any certain meeting of any kind. We're just going to hang out and chat so you guys can see each other. So I will send your parents the code for that and the day and time for that soon. And now we have some messages from the high school girls.
Hi girls, I can't believe it's already been a couple weeks since I've last seen you guys. This is so crazy. But I have a challenge for you, and it's to memorize a verse. It's the verse John 1:29. It says, "Behold the Lamb of God who takes away the sin of the world." So if you guys memorize that and send a video of you saying it and send it to Miss Press, we will be very proud. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great Easter with your family. I miss you all so much, and I can't wait to see you guys again.
Girls, I hope you guys are all having a good time. I love and I miss you guys so much, and I can't wait to see you guys again. So I am in charge of the craft, so I think we should do some watercolor painting. So this is a coffee filter, so you just ask your parents if they have any in their pantry, or it can just be a blank piece of paper. And then if you have watercolors, then you just basically just mix the colors with water barely, and then you just dab it on there until you mix the colors. You can do it a rainbow colored or a pink and yellow, pink and blue, whatever color you want. Or if you don't have watercolors, you can use markers, and then once you draw it with the marker, then you spray it with some water, and then it should have the same effect. I want to see how creative you guys can get with this. You can add glitter, you can add jewels, you can do whatever you want with it. Take a picture and send it to Miss Price. I love and I miss you guys. Bye!
What's up, my wonderful Hawklings? Happy Easter to you all. For this softball drill, you're going to need about 5 softballs or spheres and 2 lovely buckets or bowls, and place them 12 feet apart. For the first step, you're going to get down in your ready position to field the ball, and then you're going to shuffle to one of the buckets. Then you return back to the middle. For the second step, then you're going to pick up a ball and do step 1. If you don't put a rock in the bucket, it'll fall down like this. It is really, really sad. So make sure to do that. Now you're going to time yourself doing 5 balls. My high score is 8.32 seconds, and I challenge you to try and beat my score.
Bye, Hawks. We love you. We miss you.